Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie!
Yes, sir.
What's on your mind?
Brother.
Shoo-wee.
Can we do a podcast here?
My bad, y'all.
Well,
I don't know what happened here with freaking StreamYard, man, but it was giving me the grief.
the system is definitely fucked.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened here, man. I apologize for us being delayed here. It completely kicked me out of the system, and then it wouldn't let me back in. So we had to call our fine friends over there at One True Sport, get this all situated and ready to go. So we're happy to have you here with us right now as we speak. Meanie, how are you, good sir? What's going on, man?
It's November. It's been 70 degrees out. I am happy. I hate the fact that, the sun's going down earlier. Like I'll say to my dying death or dying breath, same thing. Yeah, man, I love it when the sun's out till 8 o'clock, and it is what it is. But I'm home. We're home from visiting the in-laws.
It's awesome.
Had a great time up there in Connecticut, visiting, and home now. And just you get back home and you hit the ground running, and you just don't stop. So doing the show's kind of like a break.
Yeah.
Doing the stuff I gotta do. It's people are like, how come you don't call me back? And I was like, well, dude, I'm a busy boy. But I can't complain, man. I'm happy. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm a little frustrated about the equipment issue here, but other than that, I'm doing okay. It's been an interesting week. Lots of interesting things happening, but overall, I'm holding in there. I'm hanging in there, and I hope you are too, my friend. I hope you are.
I'm doing good. Dude, went to speaking of busy, I like Wednesday did a quick did a run-in over at McCuskers on a Wednesday. NXT was in town. I wasn't booked, Terry, but that's okay. That's fine. I'm happy for my friends who were. And I figured, you know what? I'm going a lot of people in town for the NXT gimmick. Let's see if anybody stopped in at the bar. And Mrs. Meanie goes, stopped in a little bit earlier. Gotta give a shout out to a dude named Ian. Listener to the show. Stopped. He went down to the NXT show, drove all the way down from Buffalo, and went to McCuskers in hopes that I might be there.
Wow.
So I stopped in, just for a couple daddy sodas. Dougie, the bartender, was like, "Oh yeah, this guy's over here. He's been waiting a couple hours for you." And I went over, and I guess Mrs. Meanie was already holding court, and it was cool. It was cool. One of our pod squad members from Buffalo, Ian, came down. You stopped by, so I had to say hi. So
that's amazing, man. That is so cool, man. I love hearing that stuff all the time. It was cool. Like even at Meanie Mania. Let me try that sentence again, because talking. Even at Meanie Mania, it was cool to see so many people coming up to you, and even like some folks came up to me. They were like, "Oh man, we love the show. We listen to it every week." I'm like, "That's so fucking cool." Like it's fucking cool to hear that stuff. I love it so much.
I mean, it could be worse. It could go, "Oh yeah, I got a podcast," and people go, "You have a podcast?" Well, but it's nice when people reach out to me about stuff that they hear on the show and they want to interact. And Ian was cool. Like he was asking me questions about stuff like I totally fucking forgot about. So it's awesome, man. It's awesome. I just how far the show's come. I mean, we've been going on 4 years, maybe
4 years. Yeah. It's about 4 years now.
Well, what episode are we on? 242.
242. Yeah.
God bless.
Should we do something fun? Should we do something fun for 250? I feel like every milestone we should do something fun,
Yeah, maybe. Well, you got kids. I was going to say, let's do a drinking show, but
yeah, it would be fun, but
That's your problem, pal.
I'm thinking, I don't know. I gotta run back the 200th episode, man. I have to get that up on this, our little, what's it called? Our shout outs up on the One True Sport Network here. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. People sent some stuff for us, and that was a really good time. And Al, unfortunately, Al was lost in the toilet somewhere because of the Haribo gummy bears. Which he said he would have been happy to be a part of if he wasn't, stuck somewhere. But I was going to talk to you about ECW, man. The ECW arena. I got a chance to watch the show, man, and just like we predicted, good sir, Nunzio, little Guido made an appearance and challenged. I was surprised that they did it this way. I didn't think that was going to be the way they went for it, but he ended up challenging Tony D'Angelo for the North American Championship, which I thought was super dope. I thought that was amazing. But tell me about if you got a chance to check that out and what you thought about Nunzio back in the ring in WWE ring in 2024.
So what's cool is, I say this all the time, and I live 10 minutes from the ECW arena, and pass it. It sounds like I'm joking, but I pass there every day when I go to get my coffee, and saw the satellite trucks and all that stuff, and they were in town Wednesday, and I was just like, I'm doing my errands. I see a crew of people walking towards like Tony Luke's, and it was like they were going over there to film the vignette or the promo between D'Angelo and Nunzio or Guido.
He'll always be little Guido to us.
Yeah, man. I wish I had the pull. I wish. I mean, it would have been great if they could have got like Joey Merlino for that.
Oh man,
have a little sit down between the families, but
jeez.
But no, it was great, man. Guido still looks great. He can still go. Highlight of the show for me. Also seeing Francine.
Yep, that was cool,
dude. Me and Francine, we're great friends. We talk all the time. when I found out she was doing it, I was happy for everybody who got to be on there. But it was great that he got the chance for the North American title. It's good to see Tony Mamaluke on there.
I was just going to
say, yeah.
And you shared one of my favorite FBI clips. What's the matter, you? Hey, with Joey Styles. I don't care how many times I see that, man. I pop just as hard every single time. That shit
was like one of the best things on ECW TV, man.
They were. Yeah.
It was 1 year they were doing the Christmas video, and Guido starts beating up a plastic Santa Claus and pins him, and Tracy's mother counts the 3 count on him, and the FBI were the best, bro.
Uh-huh.
But it was
so good.
It was cool to see him in Philly. Had a great turnout. Looked like
completely sold out, man.
Shout out to Philly Captain. I was watching his recap because I guess he was there, filming on the outside and showing everything that was going on. But no, it was cool, man. Hopefully they make this thing like maybe a once a year type deal where they go to an arena. They come back to ECW arena maybe in a year.
Yeah,
and redo it. But whatchamacallit? It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It was, like I said, it was a lot of fun watching some of the callbacks that they had, and it was cool. It was just a cool event to watch, and I hope they do. I hope they come back, and Hunter, again, Papa H, if you're listening, I'm going to advocate for my friend here. Yeah. We would love to see the blue guy in there as well. So we'll have to make it work for next time. I got some comments here. Mass Sanity, what up, dude? Every time I've met Guido or Nunzio, he's introduced himself by saying, "Hi, I'm James. He's such a nice guy." I heard nothing but amazing things about the guy. Like
legit tough too, man. He No, I first saw him. First time I saw Guido, aka James. He used to wrestle as James Stone for the Savoldis. There's a IWC in the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, and during their lean years, they kept showing when Vic Steamboat won the belt against Tony Atlas. That was they replayed that every week because I guess they had the TV time, but didn't tape TV, so they kept showing the same replay or rerun over and over again. But I saw, Guido on those shows, and later on he started, doing shoot fight stuff in Japan for UWFI, and which was like kind of like a precursor of UFC, which was a stiff work.
Mm.
Not saying UFC is a work, which it could be. Who know? Who's to know? But yeah, Guido totally went over there, did some shoot fighting, legit tough guy. Came to ECW and paired up with JT Smith and became the full-blooded Italians. And to see him come out in the show Wednesday, was awesome. Did my heart good. I shot him a little text. I was so happy for him. And yeah, legit nice guy, but legit could like beat your ass if he had to.
I was going to say, that's one of the other things I've heard about him is like, don't fuck with him. Like, just like, don't fuck with him because he'll kick your ass. But
yeah,
since we're talking about ECW, man, I'm gonna ask you a question,
please,
about this because as you know, sir, I'm a huge ECW mark. Also, before we get into this,
yes,
I want to give a shout out to our listeners here and the people who are with us right now. Specifically from the Pod Squad. If you go above my head here, patreon.com/mind of the meanie. Join us today. And you get to watch the shows with us each and every week. Vanessa, longtime Pod Squad member, is here. Hello, Vanessa. We are happy to have you here. I want to ask you a question about an ECW, kind of like I don't know if it's obscure, but it's one of my favorite things that happened in ECW because it was such a random pairing, I felt like. And it just worked. Like it's just one of those things that really worked. The Gangstonators. Were you there? It was New Jack and Cronus, right?
Yeah.
Were you there during the Gangstonators era? And what can you tell me about the Gangstonators?
I mean, well, New Jack was solo because Mustafa went wherever Mustafa went off to, and John Cronus was around because Saturn went off to WCW. So, and they were Cronus and New Jack hung out outside the business too because Cronus was living in Philly. He's originally from New England, but he moved down to Philly, and Jack had moved to Philly, so they were hanging out in the regular anyway. And this is before it was popular to put two guys from put two guys together and give them a combo name. Like
can they coexist? Yeah,
the was RK Bro and all that stuff. The Gangstonators. They were like the OG of putting two tag team names together and making it one thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made sense. And any good tag team is when you get two guys that are like opposites. With the Eliminators, Saturn was like hard nose, straight shooter guy. And then Cronus was off the wall wacky. And then and the Gangsters, New Jack was the scary guy, cutting promos, this, that, and other thing, and then he'd finish his promo, and Mustafa would just go, boing, So, like, Cronus was kind of like the Mustafa, where he was like, he could go, but he would do all the off the wall shit that New Jack was already used to doing with Mustafa, and then New Jack was the scary guy, the scary bald dude that Cronus was used to with Perry Saturn. So it just made sense, two opposites together, and it worked. It
just made me pop so much harder for them when they would come out. And, again, as you know, I'm a big New Jack guy, but like, it just made the experience so much better when both of them came out to Natural Born Killers. And it's just, I don't know. There's something so fun about thinking about that tag team together. I loved it, man. I loved everything they did.
And the thing with, playing Natural Born Killers throughout the whole match was like, it was like a soundtrack to them. When you watch a fight scene in a movie and there's a soundtrack.
Yeah.
They had the match had its own live soundtrack. And shout out to sound guy, Randy, who did all the music for ECW. Like, he's the sound guy for ECW, but he also, was like a DJ. So he was live mixing that song on the fly. So he put the song in 2 players and
Yeah.
knew how to extend it,
Man.
as they were fighting. So if the match went 20 minutes, for 20 minutes, he's mixing on the fly.
Yeah.
And then, the 1, 2, 3, and then he'd figure out how to do the at the end, But to watch him do that in person was pretty cool. So, I mean, like I say with pro wrestling, it takes everybody from the booker all the way down to the ticket taker. And, in this case, the sound guy, it makes the show that much better,
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Got some chats in here. He says, Mass Sanity says Eliminators were so good together. Yeah, I mean, both of those tag teams were amazing, but it just New Jack and Cronus. That was my shit, man.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. So what else is going on, man? What else is
just
happening in the world of the
Oh
Meanie?
my God. Yeah, just got did the ECW deal, still doing stuff with Ultra Pro Wrestling, which I'm
Yeah.
trying to help them out with finding new talent, and trying to help put them in touch with people. Had an idea for somebody today, and hopefully the pitch for them. I pitched somebody. I was like, "Hey, what about blankety blank?" And I'm waiting to hear back. So, the Ultra Pro Wrestling video game is picking up steam.
It's awesome.
I know I plug them every week at the show, but Ultra Pro Wrestling's doing an amazing job because if you're a fan of those 90s, early 2000s N64 games, start, Ultra Pro Wrestling, no, not Ultra Pro, Virtual Pro Wrestling. Then there was WCW Revenge, then WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy. It's going to be in the vein of those games, but with better graphics.
Yeah.
And, it's going to have a ton of original characters. And then, but they're also signing known wrestlers. And the roster they've accumulated so far is massive. And the way they structured the deals is it's going to be, mutual beneficial for everybody,
Yeah.
So, being the gamer that I am, I'm looking forward to that and trying to help out in any which way I can. But there's so many names out there that you try to think like who's never been in a video game or who's been in a video game once,
Yeah.
and how can we get these people involved in the game? And you know what? I love when you can help, either current wrestlers who are still wrestling, which like they got the Motor City Machine Guns in the game before they signed with WWE.
Yeah.
And then you get a veteran, or they got Canyon and Mortis in the game.
Oh man,
which the money's going to go, to the family.
Oh, I fucking love that. Actually, that's a good thing. I meant to ask you about that. I don't know if you had a chance to watch, but WWE Vault on YouTube has been doing all kinds of amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And they just released a handful, I think it was like 4 maybe, of Mortis dark matches from WWE when they were trying to, I guess, test the character with the crowd. What did you think of the Mortis character in general? Were you a fan of it? Did you enjoy it? Yeah.
I thought it was great. I mean, not only was Kenyon a great worker, he's just a great guy. A character like that is so marketable.
Yeah.
Imagine, if they could have got behind that and pushed it, they could have marketed the masks, they could have marketed the outfits for like Halloween.
Yeah.
It would have been a great like Halloween, seasonal gimmick, not seasonal gimmick, but like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Halloween comes out, you could put out the Rey Mysterio mask, the Mortis mask.
Yeah.
Kids could have been wearing that. So, but it's unfortunate, it didn't work with WWF, but in WCW it was amazing,
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad they worked out something with the family where, and like the point I was making is, these wrestlers will be able to make bump free money, You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
the, it's good to get paid to wrestle, but if you get paid to not wrestle as well, just
Jeez.
like I say, pro wrestling's the meat and the potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The royalties, T-shirts, video games, action figures. That's the gravy. That's the dessert. That's the fruits of your labor, so to
Right.
speak.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that this game's coming along, and they had a couple hiccups here and there because it's such a small crew working on it,
Yeah.
and fans get a little bit of antsy going, oh, where's this game at? But if they saw what that whole crew is going through putting this game together, they'll appreciate it once it comes out, and it's coming out 2025.
Mm. I can't wait. I can't wait to play it, man.
They confidently said that, it's coming out in 2025, and it'll be a lot of fun. And hopefully, and the good thing is it's going to be an evergreen game. So you're going to buy the game, you'll get the characters to come with the game that Hal Haney made, and then you can pick and choose which veterans you want to buy. If you just want to buy the Blue Meanie, you can. If you want to buy the BWO downloadable pack, you can.
It's amazing.
There's going to be like a pack where you get just all the ECW guys. The extreme hardcore guys, wherever they're going to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, there's going to be so many different cool things. And they just signed Onita and FMW. FMW is going to be in the game.
Cool.
Fantastic. And, hopefully they get, some more of the FMW guys that, wrestled in the game, so they can have like some cool stuff. But I mean, they've been busting their ass working on this game, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
A lot of good guys behind the scenes working on the details of the game, the mechanics, and then people working directly with the talent.
Mm.
To get the talent on board. So, that's some of the things, I love about wrestling, and I love helping. I love promoting, and wrestling is a community all to itself. That's why I hate when I see like the tribalism amongst the fans.
Yeah.
It's like we should, dude, as a kid, I grew up liking all wrestling. I liked WWF. I liked the Crockett's. I liked the AWA. I liked Bill Watts' UWF. Bill Watts' UWF was my ECW when I was a kid, and to see everybody fighting now over, AEW fans versus WWE fans, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Because, to the outside world, the people who hate professional wrestling, we're all a bunch of goofs anyway, right? we're the nerds, and they're the Omega, or whatever the heel faction in Revenge of the Nerds was.
Yeah.
The jocks,
I think you're right. I think it was the Omegas. Yeah.
Yeah. Or something like that. I don't know.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but the outside people who hate professional wrestling laugh at us, mock us, and here we are making fun of each other.
Yeah.
So we look like a bunch of assholes, so we're giving them the ammunition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mass Entities here says you can think one product is better than the other, but you should support the entire industry. That's the whole point with this whole thing. Like, you're right. Like with the tribalism stuff, it's like, these are people who, like, all of these people are friends, right? Like, most of these people are colleagues, and they've worked together in different promotions and all these things. And like, they don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear this tribalism crap. Everybody's working together, and like, nobody wants to lose their job. Like, I don't want to see one company go out or another company go out of business, because there's a lot of, it's not even just the people that entertain you. There's an entire support staff. There's an entire like infrastructure, living, breathing organism that goes into this. And I don't know. I find it tiring, man. I really do.
You can, you can like AEW and not like WWE.
Sure.
But when all the time you're spending taking a shit on WWE, you could spend lifting up AEW, Fucking TNA's doing an amazing look.
They really are.
TNA's doing an amazing fucking job, right? And WWE is also doing a great job lifting TNA up, and putting eyes on, they could be burying them or doing whatever, promote, dude, just indie promoters alone, trying to fucking chop each other, indie promoters trying to chop each other's legs off,
Yeah.
back when we were running shows in Philly, it's like stupid bullshit, calling somebody would call the athletic commission on your show or just
Yeah.
cancel your main event, wrestler's flight, so and then he couldn't, which costs you more money to buy him a new tech. And just stupid fucking bullshit stuff. It's nice. It's refreshing to see WWE, help TNA out, and by bringing TNA out, bringing TNA talent on NXT and NXT talent on TNA. Which, hey, we saw that Wednesday at the arena with Rhino making that special guest appearance.
Mhm.
He just went to the TNA Hall of Fame and is deservingly so. I love Rhino.
Yeah.
I was on Rhino's first ever show. I was on his first ever match. I was on that show where I got my ass beat by Bruiser Bedlam, aka Johnny Canine, and just to see where he's come from from there till now is fucking amazing.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of the comments here.
We got to see.
Here's he goes. Here's a correction. Alpha Beta. That's what it was. Versus Lambda, Lambda, Lambda. The Omegas were the girls that partied with the Lambdas. I forgot about that. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
The Mega Moves.
And then we have Mass Anthony again. He says, I talked to Road Warrior Animal once about Demolition. He said Smash was one of his best friends, and he was thrilled for Demolition's success. Tribalism is stupid. That is correct.
It is. So, but that's my soapbox moment. That's my soapbox stance for the moment. Just you go online, you're like, Jesus Christ, man! If half these people put as much effort into promoting the things they like instead of shitting on things they hate, the things they like would be way much better.
For sure.
And there's much. I wish ECW was around. I wish ECW had all this, access.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I mean, like ECW, died because the fucking TNN deal fucking killed them. But they had YouTube back then. ECW, would have been around forever. Just whether it's selling ads or selling their merchandise and stuff like that. ECW still had packed houses, but it is what it is. But I mean, if ECW had like the video screens like they have now, it's just insane. Like all the the cool things you see on the indie show that ECW is just so bare bones. When we got a lighting rig for the first pay-per-view, I was like, oh wow, look at this. Shit, when they painted the floors at the ECW arena for the first pay-per-view, we were like, oh, look at this. Oh,
this is fancy. Yeah.
I mean, it's like my first the first time I got the indie show where I got paid $80. You would have thought I got $1 million. I was king shit. It's like $80. Fuck yeah.
Hello, rich people. Meanie's calling. Yes, I'll hold.
Yeah, look at all you paupers with your $25 paydays.
Walking around, kiss the ring, kiss the ring, kiss the ring.
Yeah, it's like when somebody gets their fucking tax, refund, and they're just like king shit for a week,
I love it, man. No, I mean it's hard to deny the influence that ECW still has. I mean, you watched Philadelphia is obviously anybody who's listening that's not from Philadelphia, like it's again, you have to come here to experience it, but like we talked about before, it was a special time in wrestling, man. And it's hard to deny the influence that it still has today on the product, right? A lot of the shit that you guys were doing wasn't being done until you guys did it and became part of the lexicon. And now we see it all the time. And I definitely, Mass Anthony took the words right out of my mouth. Like, imagine if streaming existed back then and you guys would have moved to a streaming network. You know what I mean? Like all the shit that like Netflix or, anything. Like imagine the kind of production quality or even attention you would have got for it back then.
Yeah, there's rumors that, initially Shane wanted to buy ECW and make it like an online streaming show on like WWE or WWF.com. That was the rumor that came out, way after the fact. But I mean, there was talks of, talks about streaming back then. That would have been amazing,
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like I said, I know we talked about it before. I feel like I'm hopeful that potentially maybe ECW as a brand or WCW as a brand gets resurrected in some way, shape, or form, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think that would be great for anybody talent wise, you know. Um, there's enough talent on that roster that you could easily fill it up, especially like we talked about, before, like with all the legends that are coming back and all the people that are involved again. Feels like Hunter's bringing a lot of people back, and or at least like bringing them back in a goodwill sense this time,
Yeah.
And I think
Well,
there's an
I
opportunity
mean,
for that for sure.
if ECW hadn't gone out of business, they easily would have became what Ring of Honor was,
Yeah,
because they were starting to get away from that. They were starting to, you know, back, the last ECW arena show, or last original ECW show at the arena, backstage there was like guys like, they had been using Christian York and Joey Matthews, who were great wrestlers. Then there was also the Backseat Boys were backstage for that show too. So they were going to bring in these younger talents that could go. And I think they would have gone away from some of the hard hitting violence.
yeah,
So but then you start looking at early NXT, and that early NXT had that ECW vibe.
yeah. It had like I don't want to say indie vibe because that's not the right. It's not the right phrasing for it. There was like a
Underground vibe.
yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's like underground. Like there was definitely like a darker, grittier approach to that early NXT stuff that I think was what made it so popular in the first place is because it mirrored what y'all were doing, right?
Yeah.
So, so we got a super chat here. We got a $2 from Maddie Jazz Cabbage.
What's up, Matty Jazz Cabbage?
You get a yo cuz for that one. Oh, that's the wrong message. Hold on, let me get you here. Who would and thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you, sir.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Who would BWO go after in NXT? And we're talking classic Stevie Richards, Blue Meanie.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to think, D'Angelo's family, since they're aligned with the FBI.
Yeah.
The FBI and BWO were, that was they were our main rivals. So I would have to say D'Angelo's family. Just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It would be a fun little feud. It would not. That sounds like such a throwaway thing. It would be a fun feud.
Yeah.
Not a fun little feud. It would be a fun feud. Sorry for the dismissiveness of that, but yeah, that would have been a lot of fun.
I could see you guys doing something fun with the D'Angelo family for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody here said BWO versus Chase U. That seems like it would be a fun it'd be a fun little thing there too.
I don't know how they wear those sweaters, right? They wear like
they were like the red and it says Chase and then U underneath it. Yeah, like
I don't know how you wrestle on some dude. That would smother me, just
yeah.
And wearing a sweater like that, like Norm Macdonald said, wearing a turtleneck feels like you're being choked by a weak smaller person. I just, I can't see wrestling those fucking gimmicks, man.
Jazz Cabbage, you get a Carl for that one. Hold on.
Yo, asshole. I don't fucking sound like that.
Yes, you do. And yes, he does. Papa H needs to call the blue guy. I need to see this here.
Well, a little inside baseball. I reached out, I know people who work there, and I think they had everything figured out by the time I reached out. So there wouldn't have been room, but they listened.
Hey,
I had an idea where, somebody's roaming the hallways, like looking at their cell phone, and they bump into me in the hallway. Hey, Blue Meanie, what are you doing here? Oh, I live here. Oh, Philadelphia? No, I live here. in the 2300 arena. Yeah. Well, where are you staying? I go, under the ring. Just and the person goes, okay, slowly backs off. And just I don't know what the out for that would be, but
yeah, listen,
it's an idea I pitched, but what are you gonna do? Hopefully we do it next time.
I was gonna say there's always next time, man. There's always. I'm sure they're gonna be back. I hope it happens next time for
Dude,
you.
the amount of production that was outside the building was astounding.
Well, right. Like I was looking at it and I'm like, this is crazy. Like it trying, like I was trying to spatially orient myself as far as where like the hard camera was set up and where the Tron was. And like, I couldn't even figure it out. I've been in there multiple times because we've been there for icons and everything else, but like, I couldn't figure out where they had everything's up. And I was like, holy
Well, if
shit.
go on YouTube after this,
Yeah.
and look up the Philly Captain's video. He was outside. He showing all the production trucks and the satellite trucks and stuff like that. And they brought everything. It's crazy.
It's unbelievable, man. Jazz Cabbage says, do you live with Boogeyman and Hornswoggle? Now that would be sick. Anyone remember when someone went into the ring and it was like a whole universe? That would have been perfect.
Well, ECW Arena
that.
would be a different universe too. Here's, and I would go along with the rib because, like,
Yeah,
there's been a couple times that MLW ran a show at the ECW Arena. Somebody went under the ring to pull out a weapon, and they pulled me out instead. Just that would have been great. I could be like the ECW's equivalent of Hornswoggle while I'm just living under the ring.
That'd have been great.
But look, I'm grateful they hired me. Back when Meanie was here to give it the tour.
Yep.
Of the arena, which a couple weeks ago on Raw, somebody was showed they were selling the VIP packages for this upcoming Mania, and like it's like in the little right hand corner of the screen, and you see, you see me on Raw, from when I hosted the ECW thing at the arena for WWE. So that was pretty cool. I've been on WWE TV. Just you have to really look for it.
Yep. I was gonna say that's like I said a couple weeks ago. I saw it and I like a split second. I was like, wait, rewind that. That's fucking Blue Meanie right there.
Yeah, I went on and I found it. I did a little screenshot of it and posted on my socials. Like, well, in case you were watching Raw, technically I was on Raw. So
I was there. I would love to see.
I was there and I got paid for it.
That's right. Hey, those are the only two things that matter, sir. Yeah. That's what matters. Yeah. I'm hoping that they'll eventually release that footage because I would love to see what they did with all that.
They filmed the whole thing. When I give the tour of the arena, it's people are like, well, there's nothing there. Like, well, yeah, I can paint you a fucking picture. I'll paint you a fucking picture. I'll give you some fucking stories too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did a tour for the arena, like the 2 in 1 night. Maybe that Wednesday. And then WWE hired me to do the one on Sunday, the day of the second Mania. And it was cool. It's the same tour, but different in a way because the fans asked different questions each tour. So I could bring up different stories,
Yep.
I'm going off of my memory. But if a fan asks a question and it triggers something I totally fucking forgot about, whole other story. So
yeah,
hopefully they bring Mania back to Philly. I want to say our governor accidentally slipped and said they're coming back in 2026, but that's just a rumor,
Yeah.
Like he had to do, I don't talk politics, but like
yeah.
The governor was talking about financial stuff for the state and coming down the line. And I swear he said, I think I swear he brought up WWE's bringing Mania back, and he said 2026, and then all of a sudden that footage disappeared.
Yeah. Yep.
So they come back. I'm available to do more tours. So and somebody I don't know how it came up, but like somebody tweeted at me on the tweeter, and posted photos from that tour, and gave me a compliment on the stories I told.
Yeah.
Because that building looks nothing like it did, but there's stories you could tell and pictures you can paint.
Yeah.
And have it, be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's anybody that would give me a tour on the ECW arena, I would love it to be the blue guy. That would just that whole. Oh, we got another super chat here from Jazz Cabbage. He says it's another $2 one. I'm gonna give you Yo Cuz.
Yo Cuz.
Heel Meanie versus JBL. Heel BWO. How mean could it get? Could you see a heel BWO?
Here's the funny thing. Like BWO went back to WWE in 05.
Yeah.
And we're feuding with the Mexicools. And we're, basically supposed to be the baby faces, right? And then we do a house show in Poughkeepsie. As Howard Finkel used to say, ladies and gentlemen, coming up in Poughkeepsie.
Dude, somebody just literally asked earlier if we could get.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
That's a yo.
Yeah, of course.
There we go. Good shit, man.
That's fucking synergy right there.
There you go,
bro.
man.
Hey, this is Howard Finkel. Letting you know that the WWF is coming to the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. Hello, Brian. This is Howard calling from the office. I got your flight scheduled for this weekend where you'll be in Cincinnati, Ohio, and then you'll be driving up to Dayton, Ohio, and but we were doing a house show in Poughkeepsie, and it was Stevie versus Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty is like, why? Scotty's a baby face, and we had been baby faces versus the Mexicools, and we're both like, this is weird. And Scotty's like, yeah, this is ECW country. They're gonna boo me. But we went out there, they cheered Scotty and they booed us.
Wow.
And we just worked as heels for that match, just you gotta go with the with the fans give you, if they start booing you. And the other guy's technically a babyface anyway, you just heel it up,
Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Call it in the ring, brother.
Speaking of calling in the ring, brother, I have a question for you, if you don't mind. If
I got a statement real quick.
You have a statement.
It fucking stinks in here. I farted. There's an elephant in the room and it took a shit. Let me address the elephant in the room that just took a shit.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
I wish I would have stood up and just fed it right into the fucking microphone, bro.
But you know what? You would have done that, and then you would have been mad because you're like, "Oh my god, it's not going away."
It couldn't get any worse than it is right now. I'm surprised there's not like little green squigglies coming up,
Meanie farts in Technicolor,
dude.
Woo-wee.
What did I do to myself?
What did I do to bring this on myself to deserve this? This is insane.
We had Vietnamese for lunch. We had some banh mi sandwiches. That's what happened.
Oh man.
But yeah, ask your fucking question, man. I gotta get out of here.
No, sorry, just get some spray, Meanie.
Crack a fucking window.
Thank fuck, no smell-o-vision. Like the pink squiggly line, like the Pig Pen squiggly line.
Yes. My boy Donnie Moses.
I love it, man. I love it. So, Meanie, I do have a question for you now.
Warm. It just got warmer, bro.
Oh man.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Quick question. Are you ready to ask Meanie, sir?
I'm more than ready. Yes, I would love to. It's time to ask me anything. Ask me something. If I could sell my farts in a jar, man.
This is a drizzling shit.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag #AskMeanie. And I got a lot of people in here. It's bad when you can't stand your own.
No.
It ain't alive. It ain't live if the Meanie doesn't fart. And then Maddie Jazz Cabbage says, OnlyFans Meanie sells farts. You don't want that, brother. You don't want that.
The fucking jackass, gas mask that's just fed right up to my ass. It's
here's a question.
Like huffing.
Actually, wait, before I ask my first question.
Just fracked in my pants.
Let's it took a second for that one to ricochet through my brain. Just stop me in my tracks.
Let me tell you something. It's the captain here. Have the brain of a dehydrated baby. If I put your brain in a parakeet, it would fly backwards, daddy. That's my Captain Lou.
What do you got on tap for yourself today, sir, besides your own fresh colon cleansing brew?
Brother, it's about to smell like peaches and shit in here. But I got Waterloo peach fucking seltzer.
I wish I could call the episode Peaches and Shit, but we'll get in trouble with iTunes. So I actually, finally, sir, I found it. And I have it right here. That's right, y'all. It's the cheap shit from the vending machine. That's right. It's a Pittsburgh throwback to Meanie and I's early episodes together when I still lived in Pittsburgh. Happy to find it. It's the Black Cherry Clear American.
Yeah.
50 cents from the machine. So let's crack them up here. Actually, wait, before we could do that, Darren Staley says Peaches and Shit is a great t-shirt.
Schlichter.
Yeah, we're Schlichter hats. Oh my God. All right, let's crack these Johns in 3, 2, 1.
Sandman to that bitch.
It smells like late stage pandemic in my apartment. Cheers, beers. Oh yeah,
dude, I'm gonna have to peel off my underwear with a fucking tea kettle.
Just like scraping it. Jesus Christ!
It's gonna have to steam them off.
Yep, like an
when
envelope.
When you open the neighbor's mail. So, you know.
Oh my God. Kit Kats is here. He says, "Have oh my God, Meanie, ever cracked your pants?"
Detroit, 1999. Yeah, 1998. I'm sorry. Is January 3rd, 1998 in the Inkster Rec Center.
Oh my God.
Somewhere, dude, and I've done it, dude. So ECW's running Michigan, and I'm wrestling Jason. I've been wrestling Jason around the loop, and Jason clotheslines me. I take a bump, and you hear,
no.
Oh yeah, it was a little fucking tater tot nugget shit, right? In my fucking
man.
And fucking, what's the first thing Jason does? He snapmares me onto my ass.
No.
And slaps on the fucking chin lock. So, I'm at the time I'm managed by Bill Wiles, who's Boogaloo Bill Wiles at the time. And he's ringside and he's like, and he looks at the crowd and goes, "Man, you people fucking stink." And he fucking runs around to the other side of the ring to fucking get away from it, and the smell hits the other side of the ring.
Oh man.
And then match, we still had like another 5 minutes to go. And I had to do the fucking moonsault and everything. So thank God it was solid. If it was liquid, it would have been like a Gallagher show.
Oh God.
Fucking,
could you imagine liquid
like
shit,
Vegematic, just fucking, or whatever,
like,
Sledge-O-Matic.
I'm thinking about the time that CM Punk said he shit himself in the ring.
Oh yeah,
like,
there's footage of that. Yeah.
How does it all stay in the shorts?
I had tights underneath. So
okay. I was like, how do you fucking contain all that, man?
Well, I had like a singlet. I didn't want to buy trunks, so I had a singlet that I wouldn't pull the straps up on.
Yeah.
And before that, I learned the hard way to wear tights underneath those Daisy Dukes, because then my balls would fall out all the time. Fucking Mustafa picked me up for a body slam, and my nuts fell on the shoulder, and the whole. You hear this, the fucking bleachers in East Side Arena go, "Oh!" The first thing they all looked away on, but to put a little bow on that fucking story, Inkster, Michigan, July 3rd, 1998.
So
it was.
He said the same thing. It's so specific.
Yeah. And I had to Google it because me, Nova, and Randy, the sound guy, drove out there, and they picked me up New Year's Day, which was the fucking Mummers Parade. So they had to navigate the Mummers Parade to get to me. We drove out to Detroit. We stayed over. Drove halfway, stayed over tonight, drove the rest of the way the next day. So that was, so maybe it was the second. I don't know. Anyway, I go in the locker room and Sandman stooges me off. Yo, Meanie shed his pants. And I'm in the shower. I had to peel my pants off. And, underneath my tights, I wore underwear, right? Tighty whities, And I had to fucking, peel it off. And I'm like, I got the shit. There's dual showers. I'm leaning against the one while the other one's fucking hosing my ass off, and I fucking roofed my underwear. I went out the side door and fucking did the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hook shot and my shitty roof. And
somewhere Meanie's shitty underwear is still on the roof.
I've gone on Google Earth and gone to look on the roof to see if they're still there. And
are they still there?
No, but it should be
Oh.
like a fucking chalk outline where like somebody tarred around it. They're like, I ain't moving that shit.
Could you imagine somebody?
My underwear look like if you like look at an eclipse on a piece of cardboard where that one dot is. Like you're looking at eclipse, you know, so you don't look directly in the sun like some idiots.
Could you imagine some poor asshole on the roof cleaning it off and finding them and being like, "Oh, what the fuck?
God damn.
It's poop again."
It's poop again. Did you ever see the Have you ever seen
Oh my god!
Have you ever seen where somebody's painting a line in the road and they go around the dead squirrel? You know, they're tarring the roof and they just go around the underwear and they're like, hey, I ain't really.
I'm fucking touching this. I don't get paid enough to touch this shit. You're out of your fucking mind.
Does anybody have
Oh.
salad tongs?
He's kicking it with the shoe like, fuck me, this is ridiculous.
Man.
Oh my god, that poor bastard. I have this image in my head of this poor man finding your dookie drawers. Oh
Dude.
my god.
That's not the first time I shit. Well, that might have been the first time I shit. No, that was like second time I shit my pants.
We got another super chat.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Jeremy. We appreciate you. He says, we have a broken arrow.
That's my buddy Jeremy Sturdy from California.
Thank you for the super chat, sir. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. Like a couple weeks after 9/11, he came out to Philly for like one of the first 3PW shows, and we went up to New York, you know, to show him, you know, to show him the memorials and stuff. I mean, this is like, you know, right after 9/11, and there's memorials and, you know, show him around. But we also had like a pocket full of stink bombs that were just dropping all over the place. And I lost one. I was like, oh no, we have a broken arrow. Like when there's a missing nuke. You know, when we have a missing nuke, you know, oh no, there's a movie, Broken Arrow or whatever, that had just come out. So I lost the stink bomb. I was like, oh no, where is it? We have a broken arrow. Jeremy's a good dude. Yeah, Jeremy, tell your folks I said, hey, give them my best.
We appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. Our last question today comes from Twitter. Listen to me. Twitter user Dave Groves says, as someone who only knows the hits of Van Halen,
yes,
but enjoys the genre of music,
sure,
where would you recommend starting to dig deeper? And I think he's talking about Van Halen.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the deep tracks, or
yeah, I think it's probably was talking about like deep cuts, like what maybe your top 3 deep cuts.
Okay. My favorite Van Halen album is Fair Warning. Oh, dude, somebody just there's a guy. The fuck's his name? Just put out a fucking rare Van Halen song today.
Mm.
Oh my god, can't think of his name. Anyway, deep cut Van Halen. I mean, if you go out there and find like, there's a whole bunch of like hidden tracks out there. I'm trying to think of whether I should recommend bootleg or demo or unreleased.
Maybe one of each. Bootleg, demo, unreleased.
There's an unreleased song they did that was pretty good called Eyes of the Night, which is only available in live form. Like, you know, back in the day when they were playing like backyard parties and playing the, you know, Pasadena Civic Arena, there was a bunch of like soundboard recordings. So there's like quality stuff of them doing covers too. But they had a song called Eyes of the Night, which Eddie's guitar on there is really good. A really cool riff. You know, I see the eyes of the night. Watch me, watch you. And then demo. If you could go out and find the Gene Simmons demos, you know, Van Halen, their first album is called Van Halen 1. There's a demo out there called Van Halen 0 because it was the songs before Van Halen 1. You hear early versions of Running with the Devil. And then there's also songs they would later use for A Different Kind of Truth. which was the last album with Dave. Dude, Alex Van Halen just put out a song this month called Unfinished, which was the last song him and Eddie recorded together, and it's an instrumental, and it's really emotional.
Amazing.
Oh, Mitch Malloy was the singer. Right after Sammy left Van Halen, they auditioned this guy Mitch Malloy, and he did a studio version of Panama. And there's a song called "It's the Right Time" that he just posted the other day, which I thought was like new, but apparently it's been out for like 7 years. But that was a really good song, and the guitar part's really good. And later on, Van Halen would use that guitar part with Gary Sharon for a song called "That's Why I Love You." But how about this? I'll end it with this. There's a song called "Crossing Over" from the Sammy era, which wasn't put on an album. It might have been released as a B-side. It's one of the few Van Halen songs where Eddie plays guitar, drums, and bass.
No shit.
Yeah, Eddie had this piece of music that didn't have a name, but he played guitar, drums, and bass on it. And he had just been sitting on it, and then Sammy heard it. It's like, this needs to be a song.
Yeah.
Eddie had written it for a friend who had passed away. A friend from his childhood had passed away as a tribute. And around this time, Van Halen's manager, Ed Loeffler, had passed away. And Sammy tells the story where he was sleeping, and their manager, Ed Loeffler, comes to him in his sleep saying, everything with the band's going to change and all this stuff. And then Sammy wakes up and finds out Ed, who just visited him in his sleep, had just passed away.
Oh, wow.
So they took that piece of music that Eddie wrote about his friend who had passed away, and they put lyrics kind of dedicated to their manager, Ed Loeffler, who had just passed away. And the song's called "Crossing Over." When Mama Meanie passed away, that song kind of took on a whole different meaning for me.
Yeah.
When Mama Meanie passed away, I was playing that song a lot. So that's probably one of my favorite hidden gems from Van Halen. So it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube, Van Halen, "Crossing Over." Listen to that song and think about somebody you wish was still here. And it'll connect on every fucking level.
I'm definitely going to check that out. Thank you for sharing that, man. I appreciate that. And thank you for all of your questions as always. We appreciate
Excellent questions. Excellent questions.
Seriously.
Thanks for the super chats.
Yes, we appreciate the super chats and everybody chipping in here and being a part of the show, our brand new live show here on One True Sports. So go ahead and hit like and subscribe and join us here every week as we do our program. But Meanie, it's that time, my brother.
Sure.
Peace to the homie in Richmond with this wonderful soothing beat that you'll listen to as we read our ads to you. And Meanie, I want to know, good sir, where can everyone keep up to date with all things blue when they're not listening to the program?
If you would like to follow Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and lately I've been putting over Blue Sky. At Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. To support the Blue Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. To support Mind of the Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. If you're a cat lover like myself, go to madcatbeardcare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to my boy Josh Thornton, who's doing an amazing job over there. All proceeds go to taking care of feral cats in this neighborhood. So go over there, madcatbeardcare.com. Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. I just put them over a few minutes ago. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles in 2025. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others. I'm trying not to spoil. Go to ultraprowrestling.com or UPW Video Game for more information. That's ultraprowrestling.com or UPW Video Game on the Twitter. The figure collections, Bone Crushing Wrestler Series 1s of the Blue Meanie are available right now. All Series 1s can be ordered right now at shop.figurescollections.com. That's figurecollections.com. Sorry. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. Select regular Blue Meanie or BW Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no wrong choice. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. register your podcast, book the blue guy, and let's have a conversation over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Did a few this week. Let's try and make somebody's day a little bit happier. Book through the website, not through the app. The app takes too much money. I'm going with the beat of the song.
I like it. You're right on beat, man. I love it. It's good shit.
It's the only rhythm I have. Book through the site, not through the app. The app takes too much money. All your hard-earned dollars that you think is going to the talent really isn't, because the app takes such a huge cut. But most importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on all forms of social media: Instagram, TikTok, Threads. I'm also leaning a lot heavier into Blue Sky right now, man. I'm not sure how much longer.
It's like Twitter without the shit bots.
Yeah, I'm really, honestly, man, I'm not sure how much longer I want to stay on Twitter at this point, but that's why I got the Blue Sky. I've been there. You can find me at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So find me there, and go over and find my other show, Foundation Radio, by going to youtube.com/@FoundationRadioPod. Tomorrow, I'm recording a very special episode I'm releasing on Tuesday, the 11th, with my friend from CBS News, Robert Costa. We're going to be talking about the 2024 election. We don't talk politics here, but if you're looking for an interesting and fact-filled show, come and check us out, foundationradio.net, to listen wherever you get your podcast, or youtube.com/@FoundationRadioPod. Don't forget to check out my articles at The Takedown on SI, which is part of the Sports Illustrated family. My interview with Baron Corbin is finally coming out on Monday.
Nice.
And have a great piece put together about him and his career, and hopefully a nice look into the future for him. So go ahead and follow us over there at SI_wrestling on Twitter. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in Lawrenceville, on the outskirts of downtown Pittsburgh. Go and schedule your appointment today with Kane and Jordan and the rest of the crew by going to 10thwardbarbershop.com. The Feinberg Method. Use promo code Goober at thefeinbergmethod.com and save up to 20% off of your entire purchase. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa de Meanie, and the Barnard home for wayward, troubled youth. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and also Blue Sky now at Mind of the Meanie. Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Join us today at the Pod Squad. Tiers start at just $10, Meanie. And also, we'll have you know, Patreon is now updated to yearly subscriptions. Now, anybody that's part of the Pod Squad, nothing changes with the way that it works for you. Every month, your payment's going to come to us. We appreciate you supporting the show. Every dollar you send us goes right back into our program. However, if you sign up today, it's a yearly subscription. So check us out now, patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. And also, if you go above to Meanie, go to youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. Follow us there and keep up to date with everything we have going on, as well as our entire archive. We want to thank our friends at One True Sport for having us on the network and hosting our lovely program here. We really appreciate you. Don't forget to hit subscribe and go check out their t-shirt store as well. Lots of great content over there and lots of great material, and also potentially something blue sometime. But go check them out there. Meanie, I want to thank you for being a part of the show each and every week, doing this here. And we thank you for watching and for listening. We will see you again. Same bat time, same bat channel for the Blue Meanie. I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
It stinks in here.